Alright, this is Henry again, and this is part 2 of my review of the Master Grade Gundam Heavyarms EW. And now that the kit is all painted and finished, we can continue on with the weapons and accessories. Now first off, just talking about the paint job, I went with the standard colors, but I did change a couple things up. I used all, well not all, but almost all of the decals that came with the kit in pretty much their standard places. The colors I did change up. This piece right here on top of the shoulder and this piece on the side, those used to be gray, but I went ahead and painted those red just to make the shoulder armor appear more red, because it hardly had any red on it. It was just that one red piece right there. And the torso I changed up a little bit. In fact, let me take the arm off to show you. Now, originally, the whole upper torso was orange, and I don't know, for some reason that just kind of bugged me. So what I did is I scribed a little panel line right here, and then masked that off and just painted that front part orange around the attachments for the chest Gatling guns, and then painted the rest of the upper torso red. But all the other colors I did pretty much standard. So, I guess we'll do the opening missile hatches first, since they're already on him. Anyway, if you've built a Heavyarms custom model kit before, you should be very familiar with these. Anyway, we've got two on the back of the shoulders, and those are going to flip out like so. And they just rotate out. They're on a peg, and they come out. And one thing I really like about this kit is that Bandai made the missile separate parts from the rest of that in there, so that you could easily paint the missiles separately a different color if you wanted to. And then these orange ones on the front flip out as well. And there you go. Got lots of missiles just in the shoulders. So I think that actually looks pretty nice. Then you've got the chest Gatling guns. And these got really tight when I painted them. So for those of you who are going to be painting your Heavyarms, be really careful of these joints for the chest Gatling guns. I mean, they do open and close, but they're going to be really tight after painting. But anyway, as you can see there, you got nice barrels on there for the chest Gatlings. And it turned out really well, I think. Also, on the skirt armor, you've got these on the side skirts, which are really tight. Let's see if I can get those out. Those are really tight in there. Sorry I had to cut away to open those up, but they were really tight. But these kind of hinge open like this. On the old high-grade kit, you kind of unplugged them and then plugged back in some ones with missiles in them, but these actually have a little hinge down here at the bottom where they just kind of swing open. And then on the front skirts, these little orange parts are going to move up and then open up like so. Thankfully they're a little bit easier to get open. There we go, you can see those little missiles in there. And then the last ones are going to be the missile hatches on the legs. Thankfully they're really easy to get open. They've just got little panels that open up like so. Do it on the other side. And there you go. Now you've got your full open Heavyarms EW ready to blast away at enemies. And of course we have Heavyarms' main weapon, and looking at his body, it's almost kind of hard to call it a main weapon. Seems like his body itself is his main weapon. Anyway, we've got the giant beam Gatling gun. Now, we're going to be mounting this to the backpack. These two thingies come down, and this is it right here. You've got two small little pegs right here. They're going to fit right onto that little connector. It'll just plug in like so. And likewise, you can do the same thing with the Gatling gun. I can move it around and show you. It's got two small connectors right here, and they're going to plug in to the other side. Now, you'll want to be a little bit careful, because this chain, while it is flexible, it's got a wire running through it, it's not quite as flexible as it should be. So you may have a little bit of a hard time connecting it, but if you fiddle around with it, it will eventually connect to that other backpack connector. So let's just go ahead and put it on his arm and move that back up. And you're going to need to switch out the fingers for this. And he's got actually 3 different handles on this thing. Probably be easier to take the shield off as well. There's a handle right here that he's going to hold in this hand, and then there's 2 handles on this side, which we'll get to in a minute. Now, this handle has got a slot in it, or not so much a slot, more like just an indentation for the hand with the peg in it. But I find that this thing is really, really difficult to get in the hand. In fact, you're probably just going to have to put the fingers on it like this and get those in place as best you can. Something like that, and even then it's not in there as securely as it ought to be. And then plug the fingers into the hand, and see, the fingers just came loose. This is probably my one complaint about this kit, is that it's really hard to get the Gatling gun into the hand, just because of the location of the handle on the Gatling gun. But again, if you fiddle around with it enough, you will eventually get the Gatling gun in the hand. And I will say that once you get it in there, it does stay in place pretty well. But like I said, it's just getting it in there that's the hard part. As you can see, the chain will go from the ammo drum all the way up to the beam Gatling gun. I keep calling this an ammo drum, but this is a beam Gatling gun. I guess maybe it's like an energy generator would be a more appropriate word for it. So anyway, there it is. As you saw earlier, the shield can also attach to it. It's got a little slot right there. Attaches, kind of covers up the hand. But if you really wanted to, you could also put the shield into the slot on the side of the arm. And it's actually going to be a little bit of a tight squeeze, because you can see it's really touching up on the shoulder armor. So it's probably going to be easier on you if you just connect it to the Gatling gun, like so. And of course, one of the bonus weapons for this kit is the hidden beam saber inside the left arm. Now, unfortunately, the beam saber doesn't actually fit inside the left arm. You're going to have to disassemble the arm and just take that completely off. And then you've got these 2 halves, which will just fit right on top of that elbow joint, like so. And that's pretty much how it's going to be done. And then you've got a small little white beam saber that you can plug right in there. Now, unfortunately, Bandai doesn't give us a blade for this beam saber. And actually, in the manual, what it suggests you do is take the extra blade that comes with Master Grade Wing Gundam, since that kit only has 1 beam saber, but it comes with 2 blades. So they suggest you take the extra and use that for Master Grade Heavyarms. And it comes with one of the little gripping hands. It may take a little fiddling around with, but it'll eventually get it in there and it'll stay pretty well. And the last of our bonus items is the combat knife, and it's going to connect onto the slot on the forearm, just like so. You'll probably want to bend the arm a little bit, otherwise it's going to be poking into the shoulder armor. But anyway, it'll go in just like that, and you can pull it out, and you've got a close combat melee weapon for Heavyarms there. A lot of people were kind of annoyed that it wasn't on the underside of the forearm like it was on the TV show, and I seriously thought about modifying it and plugging it into the bottom of the forearm, but laziness got the best of me, so I decided to just do it straight out of the box. And of course, as with all newer Master Grade kits, we get an action-based connector. It connects up in the crotch like usual, and it's very, very sturdy. No problems with the action-based connector at all. And here's a quick look at Master Grade Heavyarms inner frame. This is unpainted, by the way. This is what it's going to look like straight out of the box. And I want to go ahead and say that I think this is probably the best inner frame out of any of the EW Gundam Wing Master Grades, because it's just got such a nice, bulky, substantial inner frame. As you can see, even the shoulder armor has inner frame to it. Even the missile hatches have inner frame to them. It just looks really, really nice. Now, granted, a lot of this stuff's going to be showing on the completed kit, like these things on the top here, this little section. But still, the fact that it's got this much inner frame is just really, really nice. Compared to the other EW Master Grades, which most of them didn't have any sort of inner frame for the shoulder armor and just had one tiny little piece for the chest. And most of their skirt armor didn't look this good either. Heavyarms has really nice skirt armor, really big side skirts, really nice looking front skirts, especially with the missiles, bat skirts as well. The legs are pretty much the same as all the other EW Master Grades, but overall I just think this is a really good looking inner frame. As you can see, the backpack even has inner frame to it, and even, like I said, the missile hatches even have inner frame bits to them. And I was just really, really pleased with this when I first put it together. Open those up, and there you go. I mean, this is one of the few kits where you actually might think about just painting the inner frame and displaying it like that. I'm not usually a fan of that. I mean, I've never displayed a kit just the inner frame. I usually always put the armor on, but this is one of those kits that tempts me to want to do that. So really good job on Bandai's part with Heavyarms inner frame. And for comparison, this is the shot that everybody was wanting me to do as soon as I finished Heavyarms. So that about does it for my review of the Master Grade Gundam Heavyarms EW. And I really, really like this kit. I think this is one of the best entries into the Gundam Wing EW Master Grade line. The inner frame is fantastic, probably the best inner frame out of all the EW Master Grades. Just the attention to detail on this kit was really good. How all of the missiles are separate from the rest of the inner frame, so you can paint those different colors if you want. All of the opening armor hatches were done really, really well, even though they were kind of a little bit tighter than I would have liked, but then again, that was more because of me painting rather than the actual kit itself. Unpainted, they worked just fine. The weapons, the one main weapon, the beam Gatling Gun, is really, really nice, and I love the fact that Bandai threw in the shield, the combat knife, and the extra beam saber in the left arm as bonuses, so that was a really nice touch. The overall look of the kit is great. I think it looks very, very nice, very accurate to Kotoki's line art. The decals are good, although some of them are a little bit of a pain in the butt to apply. Like these small white ones right here on the insides of the missile hatches, those were kind of hard, but other than that, the decals weren't all that bad. Again, my one and only real complaint about the kit is that it's really difficult to get the beam Gatling gun into the hand. But, like I said earlier, once you do get it in there, it stays put pretty well. So, overall, I think this is a great kit. If you're wanting to get any of the Gundam Wing EW kits and you just can't decide which one, this would definitely be one I would recommend starting off with, because it's a really nice one. And, maybe the best of the EW Master Grades, I don't know. Master Grade Epion was pretty good. And I actually really like Shenlong and Sandrock as well, but still a really, really nice kit. So I guess that about does it for my review, and with that, I will see you guys next time.